Have you noticed any trends in the LRA results for food and chemical sensitivities in reference to demographics such as age, gender, race, ethnicity, or geographic location?
It's a question we often get. It's the demographer's question. It's the anthropologist's question. Does it matter whether you're 20 or 80? Does it matter whether you're active or sedentary? Does it matter whether you're Black, white, Asian, or Native American? It turns out that the immune defense and repair system is pretty common to human beings. So, Emanuel Tereskin, a mentor and friend, asked the following question. If you take people and give them a medical index, specifically he used the Cornell Medical Index, a symptom questionnaire, and you segregate people based on the ones who have symptoms versus the ones who are healthy and don't have symptoms. Now it turns out that whether you're 20 or 80, if you're asymptomatic, your immune defense and repair system is working very well. It's repairing you and defending you. It is not age dependent. It's not geographically dependent. It's not ethnically dependent. It is dependent on what you are eating that you can digest, assimilate, and eliminate without immune burden. It's dependent on your state of hydration. It's dependent on your state of attitude, as well as activity. And while it is of interest, and we would be interested in long-term, large-scale studies that look at each of these demographic variables, in the roughly 80,000 cases that we've done and the roughly 25 million cell cultures that our lab has produced, the issue of age is only important in relation to the fact that there are more sick people in the long-lived population. But a healthy nonagenarian and a healthy adolescent basically have the same cell responses, T and B cell, etc. And so it's an interesting question. Does it vary where you live or your ethnic background or your lifestyle? Well, yes, lifestyle does turn out to be really important. Epigenetics turn out to be really important. And when you look at epigenetics, which is 92% of lifetime health, it's about what you eat and drink, think and do. If you change your habits, you change your future. And while there have been studies that suggest that, say, Black people are more disposed to hypertension and kidney disease, it turns out that Black people are more disposed to toxic matter intake. And if you segregate a Black population based on the people who take in healthier diets and hydration and attitude and activity, they're indistinguishable from other ethnic groups. Now, if you're a Pima Indian and a sedentary a person who lives on the Pima Indian reservation eating surplus USDA food, usually with too much alcohol and too little activity, you have a 50% diabetes rate in that population. But it turns out you have a 50% diabetes rate in any group that is that sedentary and eating that kind of highly processed, intoxicating foods. So important question, but the nuances of demographics do not seem to have importance when we're looking at immune tolerance and intolerance, when we're looking at neurohormonal balance, when we're looking at digestive competence. And we do know how to measure digestive transit time and hydration status and antioxidant need and oxidative burden. And it's interesting, at least to me as an academic, to know that it doesn't matter where you live, it does matter what you do. And when you change your habits, you change the future. So people who say, oh, heart disease and cancer runs in my family, I'm telling you that's because certain habits dispose people in that family to that chronic illness. And if you change your habits, you change your future, you change your risk. So we do know enough to guide people to healthier habits. It's up to them to actually make the habit changes that take the information and the inspiration and translate it into results.